All right, so let's get you started on this wheel. It's pretty intimidating, and there's a number of ways to approach it, but I found with most everything, drawing the profile and then doing a revolve is the simplest way to start. You could build circles and stack circles and draw several sketches on top of each other. That is certainly one way to do it, but I think the revolve just eliminates a lot of extra steps and kind of shortens the process. So in this case of the wheel, we're going to take a look at up here this section view of the wheel, and we notice that we have an axis through the center, and then all these measurements up here are taken off of this axis. 0.25 to the center here, 0.75 to this center, and 1 inch to the center of this top arc. So let's take that profile, and if we were to flip it around to where this was the bottom and this was the top, what I've done was set up my drawing here with those measurements with small construction lines set. So we can start drawing. In fact, I'll just shrink this down a little bit. Going back over here to our drawing, we're going to start with a solid line, make sure our construction line's off. I'm going to start from this bottom point here and just go straight up to that 1 inch. Okay. Now at the top of this circle, which is in the drawing is right over here, I'm just going to make a full circle that's twice that radius, which is 1.25 or 0.125 times 2 is 2.50. Now I've got my other distances set up here. So we've got our baseline and we've got our distances for our heights. So all I'm going to do is block this out. I'm not going to worry about the curves yet. So I'm just going to select the line, come over tangent here, see how it snaps to that point, come down, straight down, click, come into the middle, click, create a line between these 2 points, click, come out and reference the outside edge, click, and then down to the next reference line, click, and now I can close it. And this is blocked out. This is a rough wheel billet, the cross section, if you will, here without any of these curves on it, the roundovers. If you want, you can clean up the dimensions by just getting rid of these. That's fine. Or you can leave them in. We don't really need them anymore. Just kind of there. We know that they're the right size. Now, we need to clean this up and put the roundovers on. So I'm going to trim what we don't need on the inside of the circle. And I'm going to use the fillet command with the radius of 0.063 as a typical roundover. 0.063. You don't need to put the inches in. Can if you want to, but you don't have to. So then I'm just going to make sure that these are rounded over in the proper area. Once I've got the roundovers done, now I have that complete section view, and I can finish the sketch and revolve it. And you have your wheel billet. All right, so we got the wheel base form done. We got the billet done. All we need to do now is to create the slots in the mag. So if you kind of look at this, there are what, 6 slots in this wheel, but what we're going to do is just create one of the slots, and then we're going to do a pattern, a circular pattern around the center to get the other 5. But we got to be careful about this because we can't just draw the axis. We can't just draw it straight up. It's actually a 30-degree, if we look here, 30-degree angle coming off the center of this wheel. So 30 degrees to each side of center, or 15 degrees to each side of center. So how do we set that up? Well, we go to our back side of our wheel and we create a sketch on this flat side. It's just a little easier because there's less stuff than doing it on the front side. So we want to create that slot up here, or we just create it over here, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to create it straight up. But the first thing I'm going to do is just get a center line established, coming up from the center. And then we know we're going to come out from that center line 15 degrees. So as opposed to the distance doesn't matter. So the distance in the blue box doesn't matter. It's the white box that I'm looking at. And at the very top, we're 90 degrees. So if we come 15 degrees off of 90, that puts us at 75, right? So I'm going to hit the tab key and move it from the blue box to the degree box. And I'm going to put in 75. Now I know that that is 15 degrees from the center line, right? So we can do the same thing on the other side, or I can mirror that one line on the center line, and it gives us our 30-degree total that we're looking for. So we wanted a total of 30 degrees, which over in our sketch is what we're looking for. It's yelling at me because it's over constrained. Oops. I closed it by accident. Sorry about that. And 30 degrees is what we're looking for the total angle. So I'm just going to get rid of it so it doesn't confuse anything else. We know that the lines are there. Delete that. Okay, so now we can start putting our circles in, or our arcs. And we know that the outside diameter is radius is 0.63. So if I do a circle and the radius is 0.63, the diameter has to be what? 0.63 times 2. Okay? And the inside, the bottom of the circle, is 0.37. Times 2, because we're doing the diameter. Now I've got to make sure that this line, escape out of the command, this line is not, and this line is not a construction line. Now all we got to do is connect our 2 points. Of course, don't want that to be a construction line either. Same thing over here. And now we trim it up and we just have our one slot. Finish sketch. Do a cut extrude. And we're good to go. Now to get it revolved, we're going to use the pattern tool. But first I'm going to put an axis on it. Going through the center. Pattern tool. The blue is highlighted, so it's telling you select the feature. Okay. I'm going to select this feature. Select the axis button. The axis. We want 6 of them. We're good. Hit OK. So that's the slots in the mag. Now the only other thing is this post. To the right side over here. And all that is you're going to come over here to this surface here. Sketch on that surface. And you're going to create that circle on that surface. When you actually create that circle, which is, the big one is 0.25. You're going to see part of it, and you're not going to see the other part, but that's okay. It will still extrude off of that sketch, but you just got to make sure that it's the right distance from the center, which is supposed to be 0.70. Right here, 0.70. And we're good. So you see that part of that circle is hidden under this geometry, but that's okay. When we extrude that, it's going to extrude the whole circle. So keep going from there, extrude how high it needs to be, then do the other extrusion on top of there and finish it up, and you're good to go. That's the wheel.